So I was going to say, I think we should probably start by just explaining to people what a deepfake is.
Yeah.
Like actually just outlining to people what these are. Because I'd say a lot of people have never seen them.
Do you think?
Yeah, because I only recently enough kind of came across a lot of this stuff.
Oh, see, I'd been hearing about them for a few years.
Oh, no, I'm probably not even a year into knowing what these things are.
Okay. Basically, it's kind of like the whole face swap thing, but it's that times 10, 100.
It's
directly
basically like
mimics
putting your face on somebody else's body.
Yes. And there are very, very, very little, if any, signs to say that it's not you.
It's very difficult to tell. Like,
yeah.
There are some, I've seen some where you look at them and there's glitching and stuff like that. But there's some, like, for some reason, it became a really big thing to put Nicolas Cage's face on people.
Yeah.
Like, why is it's Nicolas Cage?
It's really random. And, like, you're right, it's a really big thing.
No hate for Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, just interesting choice. Wouldn't be my first choice.
No.
But that's it. And it kind of comes down to the safety of your own identity.
Mm-hmm.
And because, I mean, so often, say in terms of evidence in like a courtroom or something, or CCTV, like it's like, well, look, there you were. We have the footage of you here. We're not that far off these kind of things being manipulated. And there was examples of like, what if you caught like your husband cheating on you, and rather than like letting him know that he cheated, you create a video with somebody else and like have him do something really bad and just use deepfakes.
Frame a person.
Yeah. And they're like, well, there's CCTV footage to say.
Mm. Now, you might be listening to this and thinking, like, they couldn't be that realistic. I'd absolutely implore you to go look some stuff up. Now, what I will say is be careful when you look them up, because there's a lot of not safe for work stuff, let's say that.
Yeah.
So be careful when you're looking them up.
Yeah.
Maybe look them up with safe search on.
Yeah.
But absolutely go on YouTube. You won't get anything unsafe on YouTube, I suppose, for the most part. Go on YouTube and check. Just look up deepfakes. Look up Nicolas Cage deepfake, because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
But you'll see how insanely real these things look.
It's very creepy, and like there was examples given with Obama.
I've seen some of them. Yeah.
They're terrifying because they used it as an example because it seems very lighthearted. Like it's just like as a joke, because like for the normal person it would just be kind of like look, we made this video. But when you get people, when that kind of technology falls into the wrong hands, they showed an example of Obama and he was given a speech, and then he's like just saying lots of Obama type things.
Obama things, as Obama is known to do. Yeah.
But like he generally seems nice, so it's just like nice, pleasant, like save the planet kind of stuff. But then it changes, and like he says, like, we've started nuclear testing or something like that, and it's like it's a threat to Korea, and you're like, wait, what is this? Like,
like if that got into the wrong hands, that could be seen as a real thing.
And then it could be just this domino effect of horrible things and the end of the world.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you were talking as well about kind of software that synthesizes voices, and they're in an early stage, but I've seen I've seen this guy, and he was kind of showing how extreme deepfakes are. I'll try find the video and link it somewhere. I'll put it on our website. If you're listening to the podcast version of this later on, it might be in the description if I found it. I'll try find the video I was looking at, but he was trying to explain how good these things can get, and how if you have a lot of information on people, because what you need, I suppose, just to quickly break it down, what you need is a load of pictures of the person's face. You need their movement
and how their face moves, and that's how glitches happen.
It has to be a variety of pictures of people's faces. So them laughing, smiling, crying if possible, making a load of different facial expressions. But the thing is, literally go with someone like Obama or Nicolas Cage. Just do a Google image search. Barack Obama. You've now got a bank of thousands of pictures of this person. So that's grand. You have that already. But the likes of someone like Obama or an actor or another politician or anything like that, you've also got hours and hours of their dialogue. And there's software now that can basically take your actual voice, if you've got enough samples of your voice, and can essentially synthesize realistic speech. Now it's still in early phases, but if there's enough samples of your voice and there's enough samples of you saying enough things, it can be very, very convincing what they can come up with. So this combination of putting your face on somebody else's body and being able to decide what you want that face to say is all just, it's mad.
It's so creepy. And like as we said before, like there is there's a lot of not suitable for work content involving deepfakes, and some people see it as, it's like, oh, well, like, it's not them, like, where's the harm? You're still using their identity.
Yeah.
And then, depending on who the person is, it could be career destroying.
It's still kind of an invasion of privacy, in a sense, you know?
And that's where the whole, like there has to be legal action and, like, involving consent, and, like, even copyright, because it's their face.
Image. They own their likeness.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them got banned. There was some websites that had a lot of those sort of, as we said, not safe for work stuff. A lot of websites that were putting them out, and there was like a blanket takedown at one point.
Really?
Yeah, because it was deemed as, you know, illegal. They were, you know, they were putting out this stuff. They were, again, because a lot of these people are celebrities, illegally using their likeness because they own their own likeness.
Yeah.
But it's when you stop and think, because you're looking at, you know, really high definition video, like so you're watching a movie and you see some of these clips that are done and are taken from movies. So if they can look realistic editing something that's taken from a high quality thing like a movie, something that's like taken from a relatively low quality image like a CCTV footage or something like that, if somebody wanted to,
be nothing like.
In theory, now I know we're kind of
we're talking about conspiracies.
We're talking about the absolute worst case scenario here, but it would be possible for, if I decided I need Orla out of the picture and I knew how to do this kind of thing, and I somehow had footage of somebody killing somebody, and I wanted to put your face on that person, and they were, you know, a relatively similar body type and stuff like that, it would be very difficult for you to prove that wasn't you unless you had a rock solid alibi.
Exactly. Well, I'd be dead.
No, this is you killing somebody else.
Oh, I thought you were going to kill me.
No. Oh, no.
I was like, that's my alibi.
No, I just want to get you locked up. I don't want to kill you. Just get you locked up.
But that is basically it. Like, it's, and again, like, this seems to come up a lot on this show, but it's again where legislation is trying to catch up with technology, because it's so hard.
Oh, it is.
Like, technology is leaps and bounds ahead of legislation, and like, just as you get a law to, I can't even think of even. GDPR. Like, that only came out last year, when our private data has been all over the internet for years and years.
Donkeys.
And now there's already something to negate GDPR. Like, there's different ways around it, and like, it's slow, and obviously, like, it's not easy to kind of get this kind of, what's the word for paperwork?
Like red tape type stuff. No,
yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say.
Like red tape. And it is a slow process, but technology doesn't wait. And people who want to manipulate it and take advantage of things like that aren't going to wait either, because they're like, hey, we have a window here. Yeah. And it's so creepy.
That's the thing. And you're right as well in that it is, somehow we need to find a way to keep up, because we're moving into a world where we're getting more and more technological, more and more stuff is becoming available and possible literally every day. Yeah. You know, there is literally probably stuff that is possible now that wasn't possible last week. Yeah. You know, like, stuff is evolving and changing so fast and growing so fast that, I think with stuff like this and just other things in general, we need a situation where laws can catch up faster. And I don't know how that can happen, because technology is so fast.
Exactly. Like, there needs to be something to kind of be, what's it? Martial law? Is that like the emergency thing that...
No, that's military law.
No. But you know what Trump was planning on doing if the government, if he had to stop the government shutdown, he's going to enter martial law. Okay. Or something. It's something law. It's basically an emergency thing. And it was here a lot during our past oppressions. But it's like it's an emergency. We need something to kind of be in place to cover everything, cover all our bases before, like, while legislation is trying to catch up with technology. Yeah.
It's so difficult to kind of work it out. Like, obviously we don't really want to get massively into the political side of it and stuff like that, because it's not what this show's about. No. If anything, we want to kind of give you an hour where you can not think about that kind of stuff. But because we are talking about the topic here of deep fakes and stuff and what they can kind of be used for, it is important to, it's all coming down, it's cyber security, it's personal security as well, and hopefully it stops and maybe makes people think about putting the amount of images of themselves online that we do. Yeah. Because if like, to be totally honest, if there are no images of you online, if you're sitting there listening to this show and you don't have a Facebook, you don't have Twitter, you don't have Instagram, and there are, you know, next to no images on you online of you online, it is harder for people to do this, for an average person to do this to you.
Yeah, but did you watch You on Netflix?
Oh yes, I did. Yeah, I've seen some of it.
He wasn't on, like. There's between You and there's like a joke, like ad, or and it's about, like, you know, online dating. It's like he's not online. He doesn't want to be online and all this. Like, he doesn't want to be found, and it becomes very sinister very fast.
Yeah.
So it's like, what has he got to hide? Like, if you don't have a picture of you online, what are you hiding? Why?
Oh, no, and I agree with that. But all I'm saying is, if you don't have stuff like that online, you are less open to this stuff. Like, I make a point now. When I was younger, I put more pictures up online.
Yeah.
I make a point now to not put a load of stuff up online as much as possible. Just because I don't want to be sharing all my personal stuff online. And I think that it's becoming more and more important to not just share all this personal stuff online without thinking about it.
Yeah.
And knowing that once those images are out there, they're out there. There's nothing that can be done about it. And it is fact. If you've got me and you, and I'm somebody who has no pictures online, I don't have a Facebook, I don't have an Instagram, I don't have a Twitter, and you have all of those things and you put a load of selfies up, it's way easier for somebody, because you literally, I was reading the thing on this earlier, you literally need hundreds of images of a person to make a deepfake thing work.
Okay.
You need a lot of pictures.
Yeah, and I suppose that's why it's more people who are high profile.
Yeah. So just like, because you could make the argument, okay, I don't have a Facebook profile, but I turn up in the background of people's pictures and all this stuff. There's probably not enough pictures of you for that.
Like, it would be lower quality and everything
exactly.
like that.
Whereas if you're taking a load of stuff constantly on your, you know, really high quality phone camera and stuff like that, it is easier for someone to do it in this analogy, it would be easier for somebody to do it to you than to do it to me, because I don't have pictures up online.
Yeah.
So it is a case of maybe just think a little bit about the amount of stuff you're putting out there.
That rolls into censorship then. Because, like, you're censoring yourself, like, in the, like, on the off chance that you will be targeted kind of thing. And obviously, like, I mean, you're 100% right. But then it's like a whole other discussion. It's like, well, why should I censor myself? And it's all this, like, it comes into freedom of speech kind of territories. It's like, look, it's my identity, and then it's only your identity until somebody takes it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
And it's so, because, like, you want, like, I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I don't share everything online. Like, I'll go online every day, but I rarely, like, post anymore. But as I said, like you said, when I was younger, like, so much rubbish.
It's so embarrassing.
Oh God, it's awful. I've had my Twitter for about 10, 11 years now, and I never want to search back.
Do you know when you get those Facebook, like, oh, remember you posted this 7 years ago?
Yeah.
Every time it's like, I want to burn my phone.
Yeah, and if it was that bad on Facebook, where I posted like once a month or something, Twitter is just, I never want to look. But it is that, like, you want... It's that kind of thing. You want to be able to share things, because it's natural to want to share different things, and not in a braggy way, just like, oh, like, this is something that happened, cool, I want to share it. But then you're gonna have this, like, the sinister negative energy kind of thing around it, and it sucks, because it's like you can't do anything without feeling unsafe nowadays, because and especially somebody like me, who I'm not a techie person at all, so. You know, the whole thing of, like, oh, your camera's watching you, and your phone is listening to you all the time. I'm just like, yeah, sure, okay then. Like, I've leaned into it, and because, like, there's things way too many times where I've been talking about something, and then
and it's come up in, like, a Google search or an ad.
No, an ad. Literally 10 minutes. The weirdest one was, I was drinking this caffeinated can of coffee. Wasn't nice. And
coffee is caffeinated.
Sorry, not caffeinated, carbonated. I haven't had caffeine today. Carbonated can of coffee, and I'd never seen it before, never heard of it before. I wasn't even the one that's seen it. My dad picked it up for me, and I was in the car, and I texted my dad told me the name of it, and I texted my friend. I was just like, oh, I got this. It tastes really weird. And then I went onto Instagram about 2-3 minutes later. There was an ad for this coffee that I had never seen before in my life. And I sent her a screen cap of it. I was just like, Ash, look at this. And I had the timestamp and everything. She was just like, what the hell? That is so creepy. I was just like, yep. Like, it was just really creepy. And it was one of those reminders that, like, yeah, we are listening.
It's like, did you ever see those things? There's a guy I've seen who he did a series of videos on this, where he went on and basically he talked for a few minutes about something that he wouldn't normally speak about, like products he wouldn't buy. And then after talking about it for a few minutes, went online to see if the number of ads for that kind of thing had increased, and it had.
Oh, God.
It was a bit crazy. And as he said, look, it could be coincidental. It could absolutely be coincidental. But you wouldn't know.
No. When you have like this whole theory of it constantly listening, you're going to go for that one rather than it being a coincidence. But, you know, maybe it is. And, you know, the whole thing of putting out into the world what you receive. So, because it's on your mind more, you're going to notice it more. Yeah. Whereas this could have been, like, maybe I did see an ad for this. Like, maybe I'd seen it twice and I just kind of scrolled past it but then I had that point of reference and I was going to recognize it. I saw it and I was just like, oh my God, what the hell? But maybe I had seen it before and I didn't commit it to memory. Because you're looking for it.
It's you're looking for it now. It's like the whole confirmation bias type of a thing where like you're looking for a certain answer from the results that you're going through or from the test that you've done or from whatever. So you find that answer.
What's the confirmation bias?
Oh,
I thought you said confirmation boys kind of thing. I was just like, is it when boys make the confirmation, you see one, you see loads?
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah. So it's all these people making their confirmation, you just see them all. Yeah.
And actually, I'd heard a theory and it was like the GTA theory or something like that. So
Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, like I've never played it. But apparently there's this whole thing and it's the GTA effect or something, and it's where there's like this car that you really, really want and they're super rare and I don't know how you get the cars, but like you get it and it's like, oh cool, and then when you're driving around in it, that is all you see.
Yeah.
And
it's not rare anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing, like are you seeing this because you're more familiar with it now and it's part of your memory and you're going to perk up more because you're like, oh, I recognise that. Yeah. Or because like you're not going to notice things that you don't know, kind of thing.
That happens in real life too, though. Like where if you buy a new car, like, or I've had that before, where like you know a friend or a family member get a new car, and it's like, oh, I've never seen that one before, and then all of a sudden everybody seems to have that car. Every second car that goes by is that car.
That happened when my mum got a mint green Punto.
And you're seeing mint green Puntos everywhere?
Everywhere. I even asked, did they come with cornflakes? Because everybody had them so much. I was young. But
yeah, they do. They come with cornflakes. So it's great.
But now I get so excited when I see somebody with a mint green Punto. I'm like, yay, cornflakes! That was a great car. I loved that car very much.
But bring it back to deep fakes a bit. I do think it's something that it's gonna be crazy. And the thing is, right now, like we're in a very early stage of it. We're in a situation where if you really look. Even the really good ones, if you really, really look, you can kind of tell something's off. Yeah. But if we're already at the stage where things are only kind of off if you really look. Yeah. And if you know.
And if you want to believe it. Like, if you see something and it's, say, a celebrity that you like or a celebrity that you dislike and they're doing something incriminating, you're not going to say, like, oh, is that fake? That seems out of character. You're going to be like, oh, my God, they're awful. How could they do that?
Or what's even scarier is if it's something that's not that out of character but still is wrong or still is untrue, you're not going to question that as much.
No, exactly. And it's just like, yeah, I saw it coming kind of thing. When they could be bad, but not that bad.
But keep an eye on it. Like keep an eye on it. Look at it. Like go and have a look at some of the stuff if you've never looked before. Yeah. It's fascinating. Yeah. There's a load of videos out there talking about how it works. Yeah. Because there's so much more detail in it than we can go into here. It's back to the whole machine learning thing. Like you have to actually teach the algorithm how to do it. So the first time it does it, it's gonna look crap, and you feed it more information, and you kind of correct it and teach it how to do stuff. But there's already like desktop applications you can get, which with no knowledge of coding or anything like that, you can do it yourself. Yeah. So it's
even you know those apps where you take a picture of yourself and it makes you a cartoon. Like that's at its basic level. It's registering different details about your face, like colours, like do you have glasses, do you not have glasses, have you got freckles, do you not have freckles? And even though it's a cartoon, it's still projecting these things onto this tiny little card. It's like, oh, ha, ha, it's a cartoon. It's you. It has taken your data.
That's now you.
Actually, just one thing before we finish that up. It's really funny, as you said, that the voice thing hasn't caught up yet. So you just have like a really convincing visual. And you hear like whoever's making the deep fake when they talk, just to show you like it's not, say, Obama or whatever it is. And like you get Obama talking in like a London accent or something, that it's great.
Or one today that I seen, which was a woman, completely a woman. She was accepting an award at like the Golden Globes or one of them, or something to do. It was some big award thing. You can tell I'm not a film person. One of these actor people accepting one of these shiny trophy things at an award yoke. But she was accepting the award, and again, Nicolas Cage. Yep. Her face was no, it wasn't. It was Steve Buscemi.
You're right.
Yeah.
Mandela effect. I thought it was Nick Cage as well.
Nick Cage as well. Yeah. But yeah, it was his face on it, and it was scary accurate. It was so perfect. Bang on, and it was a woman's voice. It was a woman's body. It was a woman, but it was Steve Buscemi's face, and it was creepy.
It was great.
But it's so good. Like that one gives you an example of putting a man's face on another man's face. You can kind of say, okay, there's going to be some structural similarities there, okay. But when you can take a man's face, put it on a woman's face, and it doesn't look out of place, other than the fact you know that that's not her face. Yeah. But if you didn't know, it wouldn't look that out of place. She just looks a bit odd.
Exactly, especially if they weren't famous. If it was just if they just took two strangers. If some guy who's able to do this got two of his best mates and put this up, you were like, oh, is that like...
You just reckon she has relatively masculine features or something.
Yeah. And again, the whole thing, because you don't know it's wrong, you're going to assume it's right. It's like, well, this is what they're telling me. So,
Can you
trust your own brain?
No, you absolutely can't.